Yo, what's going on, guys? So we have some new Yu-Gi-Oh cards coming out, and let's go ahead and take a look at them. There's some new fairies, and what I'm mostly interested in is the new Warrock support actually going to make the deck viable. We'll find out on this exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. But anyways, Lightning Overdrive, yeah, it's coming out relatively soon, and some people had access to opening up and showing off some of the cards already. But let's go ahead and check out some of these newer cards and see if they're actually any good. So this first card, I don't even know what it's for, but it's called the Proof Loss. It is a level 3 Dark Fiend effect monster with 100 attack and 100 defense points. And it says, if you control no special summon monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon other monsters for the rest of the turn. You can only use this effect of Proofless once per turn. If this card is normal or a special summon, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, tribute summon one monster. So that could be actually pretty decent. This is pretty cool support for more rogue play styles, especially for any other archetype that wants to get a tribute summon in. The only problem that I have with this is there's probably much better options that don't have that like restriction of like you cannot special summon monster for the rest of the turn. I mean, I think that there are better just free special summon targets. If it let you get something in addition to it, it would be kind of cool. Now, however, the one thing that is kind of nice with this, it's you can immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon one monster. So what it does technically let you do is if you're able to summon it during your opponent's turn, right? And you have to control no special monsters still during this. Then you can surprise your opponent and lock them out, right? If you just go for one of like the Majesties or Vandy's Fiend, that could be something to take into consideration. But there's like Storm, what is that? The Monarch card, but there's the trap version though, where you just surprise them anyways. I'm just not sure if this is really going to be what people are looking forward to, but nonetheless, kind of a cool card. Next up, we have the Throne, the Discipled Angel. Anyways, it is a level 4 Earth Fairy effect monster with 1500 attack, 600 defense points, and it says if a monster or monsters that was originally Earth Fairy is sent from your hand or field to the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Thrawn the Discipled Angel once per turn. Okay, it says except during the damage step. Earth Fairy is kind of rare. Most of them are going to be probably light, but nonetheless, what is this supposed to actually combo with? I'm curious to know when this new fairy is supposed to go with. But next up, we have Pendragon Saction over here. It is a rank 4 Water Cyberse effect monster with 2000 attack, 1000 defense points, and it requires 2 level 4 monsters. And it says you can detach material from this card, and if you have more cards in your extra deck than your opponent, apply these effects in sequence depending on the difference. So if it's 1+, it gains 1000 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. And then if it's 5+, neither player can target this card with card effects until the end of your opponent's turn. 10+, banish one card your opponent controls. 15+, make your opponent's life points 3000. Wow. If you have more... Wait, but this is a card in the extra. What? So you'd have to be playing Pendulums, right, to have 15... How it should have been 14, because then you would still get this effect, right? Because it's if you have more cards in your extra deck than your opponent's. Isn't there the card where it like gets rid of like your opponent's, it banishes it for the entire turn. I'm trying to think of, there's got to be a way, guys, to make this super OP. But the only problem is it requires 15. If it was 14, you could just make this card, make your opponent's life points 3000 without requiring pendulums. But is there another way to do it? Let me know in the comment section below, because putting your opponent at 3000 life points is an easy magic cylinder away for a game, or just like one or two cards could potentially make a game real easy if you're able to get that like burn damage. And this could be interesting. I like it. I like weird cards that make me think, but the 15+ is just, why wasn't it 14, you know? Anyways, Unexpectable Die is a new normal trap card that says tribute one warrior monster, and then target one card on the field, destroy it, and if you do, draw one card. I mean, is sold sometimes though for some archetypes, it gets left there and like they just like leave it there. So that could be something to take into consideration as well. But on top of that, like, why wouldn't I just play Solemn? Like, you know, if this card was a free searchable card, sure. But I would rather just play Solemn to negate anything and, you know, not give my opponent the ability for it to hit the field, the graveyard, and potentially, you know, do other things where I could just run another card that would be like faster in spell speed. I don't know how I feel about that, but let me know if there's any other cool use for that. Next up, we have Terrors of the Underroot, which is a normal trap card that says target up to 5 cards in your opponent's graveyard and the same number of your opponent's banished cards. Banish those targets from the graveyard, and if you do, return those banished targets to the graveyard. You only act with 1 Terrors of the Underroot per turn. because it's your opponent's stuff, what you could do, and speaking, because we were just talking about that card where if you banish like their entire extract, it just says 5 cards. It doesn't have to be face up. I'm wondering if this works with, if you guys know what I'm talking about, there's a card where like it banishes your opponent's entire extract for basically 1 turn, right? Because you can banish any number and you banish the same amount that you have until like the end phase or whatever. But then you could just put them back and then they would just lose out on those cards in the extra deck. And I forgot if you get to choose the card. I forgot the card's name, otherwise I'd just look it up. But I don't know if that would work for it. But the problem is most of the time when your opponent is banishing those cards, it's going to get some type of bonus for that. And then if you put them back in the graveyard, I don't know. It's a potential side deck card for sure for some decks. Anyways, next up, Warrock, because I felt like this archetype was super underdeveloped when they like released it as, I believe it's still a TCG exclusive, right? Warrock YuGiOh is a level 4 Earth Warrior effect monster with 1800 attack and 1800 defense points, and it says if your Earth Warrior monster battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation as a quick effect, you can pay 800 life points. Your battling monster gains 800 attack until the end of this turn. This card is sent from your monster zone to the graveyard by opponent's card effect. You dispose from 1 level 5 or higher Warrock monster from your hand or deck. You can only use each effect of Warrock YuGiOh once per turn. Next up, we have Warrock Mahmud. He is a level 5 Earth Warrior effect monster with 2000 attack, 2000 defense points. And it says, if you control no monsters or all monsters you control are warrior monsters, you can normal summon this card without tributing. If your Earth Warrior monster battles after damage calculation, you get to target 1 spell slot trap your opponent controls, destroy it. Then all Warrock monsters you currently control gain 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. You can only use this effect of Warrock Mahmud once per turn. I mean, I think they were an archetype. It's all about just boosting attack. It's really outdated. I still think that so far we haven't seen too many good things. Okay, now this looks like it's a secret rare via the artwork over here, because like I said, some Yu-Gi-Oh content creators did get access to opening this up early, so some of them will be like, this is like a foreign card obviously, but we have the English translation here. So Pendragon is a level 7 Earth Warrior effect monster, 2600 attack and 2600 defense points. It says it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. When an attack is declared involving this card and opponent's monster, you can negate the effects of that opponent's monster this turn, as well as the activated effects and effects on the field of monsters with the same original name. Once per turn during battle phase in which your Earth Warrior monster battles, as a quick effect, you can make all Warrock monsters you currently control gain 200 attack till the end of your opponent's turn. Also, this card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. So, I mean, all Warrock 200. If it was like 200 for each other Warrock that you control, so it's like a 28 that can't be destroyed by opponent's card effect, and then only negates it. Where is it? Only when the attack is declared involving. I just think that they're just going to use the effect at some point before and get rid of this card. Yeah, it cannot be destroyed, but they can bounce back. They could do other things. I just don't see this archetype really looking forward to doing anything. If this quick effect was something that it just kept on like going higher and higher and it would just not be the opponent's turn, I still don't think it would be like competitive at all compared to what's available in the game. But let's don't sign them out yet. We got a couple more new supports. Warrock Dignity is a new quick play spell card that says you must control a Warrock monster to activate either of these effects. First part of it says when a monster your opponent controls activates its effect, negate the effect. Next part is during the battle phase, when your opponent activates a spell slash trap or monster effect, negate that effect. You can only activate 1 Warrock Dignity per turn. Okay, that's pretty cool. Problem is, during the battle phase, you get to negate, or just when. I like this. If this was negate and destroy, we need those 2 effects in Yu-Gi-Oh to really be considered like meta or good, I would say. Next up, we have the Warrock Spirit. It's another quick play spell card that says during the battle phase, target 1 Warrock monster in your graveyard and then activate 1 of these effects. The first part of it says special summon that target an attack position, but for the rest of the turn, its effects are negated. Also, it cannot attack directly. The other part of it says special summon that target in defense position. Also, the first time each Warrock monster you control would be destroyed by battle this turn, it is not destroyed. So I guess you're going to bring them back, then you could use the effect to boost them up, because they pretty much are just stat sticks at this point, and they're still pretty much stat sticks, with the exception of, I guess, like the Dignity at least. Maybe some hope for them later down the line. Next up, though, we have Warrock Generations. This is a normal trap card that says during the battle phase, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon 1 Warrock monster from your deck. And if you activated this card during your opponent's turn, for the rest of the turn while you control the face of special monster, your opponent's monsters cannot attack except to attack that monster. You can only activate 1 Warrock Generations per turn. Okay, special summoning from the deck is obviously really good, but one problem is during the battle phase, I mean, technically you might be able to still pull this off. And bringing out any Warrock from the deck, that's an insane effect to special summon anything in an entire archetype. But that shows you how mediocre this entire archetype is. And we're still not done though, hold on. We got still more support. Maybe this will be this salvation here. Warrock Big Blow is a normal trap card that says, during the main phase, if a face-up Warrock monsters you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, destroy up to 2 cards your opponent controls. You can only activate 1 Warrock Big Blow per turn. I still think it's kind of meh. And then also we're getting some imports: the Diviner Herald, Eda the Sun Magician, Stay Sailor Rumarine, DDD Super Sight, King Zero Maxwell, Binary Blade or Sun Avalon, Daphne, Melias, and Crossbreed. These are all the Sunvine cards. We've actually, these are not new cards, it's just cards that we're finally getting here in the TCG. Pretty much Diviner of the Herald is like one of them, like really, really good cards. We'll go over some like the more nice money cards and like the cards that people are looking forward to, and of course this newest set over here. But overall, I would say pretty underwhelming. This card is the only card that I'm interested in doing any content with, because Warrocks, good luck actually trying to win with that unless you're playing against like you know, Crystal Beast or someone playing like a really old Dark Magician deck. This card was interesting too, but again, I think so far we haven't seen anything really insane to make this set super good. There's some other cards we'll talk about later down the line, but at least in this vid, at least I would say Warrock still pretty bottom tier. But comment down below what you guys think about the Warrocks. I'm really curious to know your guys' thoughts. You guys think they're anywhere near competitive now with any of this new support? Obviously, I told you guys my opinion. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on. If you're new here and do want to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards as soon as they get announced, make sure you guys subscribe with the bell notification on, and you'll definitely see more very soon. But take care. I'll see you guys in the next vid. Peace.